Hello everyone. So today we are going to start discussing a new algorithm that's called the random sequence generator. So compared to the what we did before, so today our random sequence, the randomly generated numbers, will have some certain point. So what is that? Why do we need such kind of unique random sequences? So this is our application. So this is the application what we are going to create today. So what is the point? First of all, we will have to create the original sequence. And the sequence, as you can see, very simple, like starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here there are altogether 7 elements. So right here in that application, we can fix that length. So we can change, and from 7 that may become some other numbers. So that will fix how many elements we are going to create. So the next what we will need to do is to kind of rearrange our numbers such that them order will become completely random, but the appearance of the all numbers here will have to be the same as in the original sequence. What does it mean? Actually, if we will look through all of those symbols here and here, we will find that all of them, so they repeated only once. For example, there is only 1 0, only 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 4, 5, 6. So such kind of sequences, that's called the permuted sequences. So we do have original sequence, and that one is the permuted sequence. So where the elements in that array will remain same, but then order will be completely random, will be changed. So, and today we are going to discuss how to create such kind of method where we can finally build that particular permuted sequences. Okay, so in that application, so there are two buttons: generate original sequence and permute. So where is the big lock where we are going to display our steps of that particular random sequence algorithm. So, and if I will permute it as many times as possible, so here we can see that the symbols will become same, but then order will become different. Okay, the general explanation about the main steps of that random sequence algorithm is presented in that particular Word file. So what we can see here. So we do have original sequence, same as it is presented in our application. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total length is 7. So, and here we are going to process the 5 steps in order to permute our sequence. So once again, the original sequence is as presented here. So for each step, we will need to generate. We will need to process 2 steps. Step 1, generate random number r in the range from 0 until index -1. So the index here will be fixed for all steps. For example, for the step 1, the index is 6. So what does it mean, that particular index? So that index will link us to some element in that array, what we are going to permute in that particular step. So the index 6 means that we are going into the element in the position 6, which is here, and we are going to permute that element with all other elements which is located in front of him. Okay, so now that R, so that will be the randomly generated number from 0 until index -1. So index is 6, so that's why that number will be from 0 until 5. So, and we are going to randomly pick 1 numbers in between 0 to 5. So now, how does that particular method works? For the step 1, when the index is 6, So we will need to generate randomly R in the range from 0 to 5. And assume that R is 3. So it means that we are going to handle numbers in the position 3 and in the position 6. So in that example, they are highlighted by red color. So, okay, first we will pick the index, like the random number R, where we are going to handle the number. So, and now we need to swap the numbers in the position 3 and 6. So in the positions, what we pick. So first position is index, second position is R. So here we can see R and index. So and now we need to swap 3 and 6. So and in the final, in the result part, we can see 6 and 3, they are going to be swapped. And 3, they are going into the position 6. 6 is going into the position 3. Done. This is the step 1. Step 2. For the step 2, our index became 5. So means that the number in the position 6 we already permute. So now we need to go into the previous number. This is the number 5. And we are going to do the same what we did in the step 1. So but now the range will be from 0 until 4. Okay, now, so we will have to generate random number R in the range from 0 to 4. So this is my number, and among these 5 numbers, I am going to pick 1. So, and the choice is 2, R equal 2. So, and this is our number in the position 2. Done. Okay, so once we make a choice for that particular number, so now we are going to swap the number in the position R and the number in the position index, position 2 and position 5. And here is the result. So see, 2 is going into the position 5, so here, and 5 is going into the position 2. So that's why 5 appear in the position 2. So done. So after the second step, those two numbers are permuted. So and we will have to go in and permute other numbers in the previous location. So this is the step 3, index 4. So here is our number in the index 4. Next. Through the same logic, so now I need to pick one number in the range from 0 to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. But see here the 5 and 6, they are already permuted. So that's the choice, can easily pick them and permute them again. That may be possible here in that particular algorithm. Okay, so but anyway, so our choice is 0, so that's why we are going to handle the number in the position 0 and the number in the position 4. And we will again swap them. So 4 will come in the beginning, so in 0 will go into the position 4. So after the step 3, those 3 numbers, they are permuted. Okay, so now step 4, index 3. So we are going to generate random number R in the range from the 0 to 2. So technically I want to handle the number in the position 3, which is the number 6, and remember that 6 we already swapped before. But now we are going to swap it again. So, and we need to make a choice in between those 3 numbers, 0, 1, and 2. So now, 2 among them, they are already changed. Okay, so our random choice R equal 2, so means that we are going to swap 5 and 6. Numbers located in the position 2 and the position 3. 2 and 3. Okay, after the swapping, 6 is going into the position 2, 5 is going into the position 3. So, and we process that particular swapping. Okay, so, and in the last 5th step, our index became 2. So, and we will need to make a choice in between 4 or 1. So will be the choice in between 0 and 1. So, and our choice is 1, so that's why we are going to swap 1 and 6. So finally our permuted order will be the 4, 6, 1, 5, 0, 2, 3. So that algorithm allow us to create randomly permuted sequences. So, and that will be definitely permuted in the higher range. At the same time, this algorithm is very simple, contains only the very limited number of steps, and can generate very nice random sequence. So also here, see, like our random sequence is presented here, but for that random sequence, we can also we can create or calculate, so inverse sequence, and inverse sequence is presented here. So what does it mean, this reverse sequence? So see here, the first number is 4. So what does it mean, this 4? So if I will get the number in our permuted sequence in the position 4, I will get the first element from our original sequence. So that reverse sequence will give us the way to get the original sequence. So that 4 here means that my first element is located in the 4th position in the permuted random sequence. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0. And 0 is the first element in my original sequence. And we can see that 0 here. See, the second element here is 2. So it means that the second element, this 1, is located where? In the position 2. 0, 1, 2. So, and 1, I can get again the element for the original sequence. So 5, index 5, where my third element is located. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. So then we can get this 2 from the original sequence. So the next is 5. This is 3. So that's why I can get 3. 0, which is 4. 3, which is 5, and 1, which is 6. So using the reverse sequence, we can get the elements for the original sequence. So that the way how to get the reverse sequence and how to use it, we will discuss next time, next class, next lecture. So, and today our target is to make that particular application. Let's begin. So let's start creating our application. So let's make our new Java project. Let's call it random sequence video. So I am not going to place it here. I will just add extra folder, so and that will automatically resolve that particular issues. So this is our new application. So don't forget to make a package. And make Windows application. So here my random sequence video. So this is my source code. Go to the design, and now let's make our application. First, let's set absolute layout. So in our application, so here So there are two labels, so that's why let's place them here. So the label, so I will make a bigger font. So no title, and let's call it original sequence. Original sequence. So we need two of them. One is for the original one, another one is for the permuted sequence. Okay, next is length. So, and next here we will need to add the text box. So that text box will be, let's call it length box. So now I need two buttons. So this is our first button. So this is our button generate. So, and the title of that button will be the generate original sequence. So we need one more button. So here that will be the button permute. Title is permute. Okay, so here we need it a little bit bigger, and here I'm supposed to place my lock. Okay, so here the leading should be left, top. Okay, and instead of label, let's display lock. And this is also lock. Done. Let's run and see. Definitely now nothing works. Okay, and let's place as default the number here. So place 7. I want to see the 7 here. And maybe better to move it. Right. Okay, so make title. Random sequence. Application. Random sequence application. Okay, done. So let's create our random button generate, and here we're supposed to generate our sequence. So how does it work? So this is our initial application. So I click the generate original sequence, and that particular numbers are coming here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what we need to place in our source code. Okay, so the first what we need to do is to read that particular number 7, because we are going to build a loop where we can call our elements one by one. So for that, in the header of our application, so let's make a variable where we will fix the length of our array. I will call it sequence length. So, and here, now I need to get the number. Sequence length equal integer dot pers integer. So this is the length box dot get text to string. Okay, get it? So now loop for, so integer I equal 0, I less than sequence length, I less, stop, I plus plus. So in that loop, I supposed to create that particular numbers. So that will be easy to do. But here we will need to discuss one moment. See, I do have two buttons: generate original sequence, what I am doing now, and the permute. So definitely when I will generate first, I will have to permute second. So it means that both of my function must get the access to the same numbers. So those numbers, they are definitely array, because here we are going to place and use those numbers in some sense. But that means that those arrays, that array must be created before creating the function generate original sequence and permute. So it means that we must build our array, initialize our array in the beginning, in the header of our application. So that will be the integer array. Let's call it array s sequence. New integer. Okay, and now how many elements do I need to add here? So the logical way is 7. But see, I can read 7 only after that I will like execute my application. So technically I cannot make any numbers here, like any relevant numbers here related to the numbers what I want. So there is a very simple way. So here I can set up, for example, 100 numbers. So that will not be the most efficient way in terms of coding. So, and definitely later we will discuss and fix that particular problem. But up to now in my application, I will just allocate 100 numbers, and some of that numbers, exactly 7, I will use as the sequence S. So the rest will be just, will be like unknowns, but we will never use it. This is the drawback of this particular way. So the best way to handle like the different type of array here, instead of the fixed number, so we're supposed to use something that's called a dynamic array. So the dynamic array means that during the lifetime, so during the application lifetime, that array may change the length. That's not always fixed. So that's why it's called a dynamic. But the dynamic array we will discuss later. So now let's use the fixed array with the 100 element, and we will just use 7 of them. So we generate array S. Okay, so here let's fulfill that array. So that will be very easy to do because see. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is nothing else as our I, isn't it? So if I call the loop starting from 0 until 7, so that will be the what? I equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's exactly the numbers what so we are creating here. Done. So, and as long as I need to display them here, so we are supposed to do what? So that part we already discussed. So we can use the function what we designed before, so where we can build array using the elements from the array. So we can build string array from integer array. And that particular string later we will use in order to display our data. So that particular application, that's what we used. So before, so we use it for the binary project. Okay, so this is our binary sorting project. So, and right here we do have a function. Okay, so here, so create string from array. So that the function what we use to build array. So to build string from the array elements. So that's what we need. See, I don't really need to code it. So I will just copy the source code, what we already built before, and just place it here in our application. So right here, I can add our function, create string from array. So the output is the string, input, this is the array, integer array, and also here there is the second parameter which will identify the array length. So all of those data we already know, we generate them here. So and here I can display that array as what I just generate, and this is our number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the first, that particular widget here is our original sequence. Original sequence set text. Okay, so in here, see what text do I need to set? This is that string what I will generate from function create string from array. So create string from array. So in here will be the two input parameters. So this is our array s and sequence length. Sequence length. And now let's check what we have. So if I will click generate, so now we can see our original array. So and remember those particular numbers that they are inside of our array s, because here we actually display the array s. Okay, so that part is done. So we generate our original sequence. So the next what we will need to do and discuss here is the permutation part. So now let's create our button permute. So go to the design and just double click on the permute. So that will automatically create our new function related to the clicking the button permute. So and now what exactly do we need to display and process right here? So technically this mechanism. And here, see what is happening. So I do have 5 steps, and for each steps I will need to process the different index and like do those particular sub steps inside. So there are 5 steps and 5 different index. So in that particular application, so what we can do is to create an array for, so where I will handle my index. So see here the index started from 6 until 2. So what is 6? 6, that will be our length minus 1. So sequence length, this is our global parameter. So that's why I can just simply place it here until my index. See, it is, I should start until 2. So that's why here I can say like until index bigger than 1. Index minus minus. So why minus minus? Because here my 6, like my index start from 6 and by one decreasing up to 2. So in here, so we can analyze and say that my index is nothing else as 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's exactly what we want, isn't it? Okay, done. So now inside, what will happen inside of our source code? First of all, I need to generate random numbers R. So in order to generate that number, I supposed to make it so integer R. So that will be the number what I am going to generate. So I need to generate randomly. So it means that we will need to call our random numbers. So final, random, my random equal new random. Okay, so it doesn't work, so we need to import Java. So right here we can see the random has been added. So now we can use my random to create random numbers. So and inside the first step is to generate random R. So the R that will be my random dot next integer. So in that argument here, that must be our what? See, here there are in the range from 0 until int minus 1. So we already identify index here. So that's why I can just simply add it here, minus 1. So that will be my random R. So, and the next what I will need to do is to swap numbers in the position R and the position index. Okay, so the next I need to swap. Okay, so for the swapping, remember, we need the buffer. So that's why we will add that buffer here. So, and let's say our buffer will be the S let's say in the position index. So and here I can like comment that my buffer will become what here. So index is 6. So the S in the position 6 is 6. Okay, so that's why here I can write 6. Now, so S in the position index will be equal S in the position R. Okay, so in here I can write what will happen. S so see, S in the position index, this one, equal S in the position R, 3. Okay, so here let's say our R equal 3. So that means that instead of the 6 here I will have 3. So the next, like I need to finish s in the position r equal buffer. So, and after doing this, so here instead of this 3 I will have 6. So and our swap is finished. Okay, now, so what do we need to do next? So the next, I supposed to display data related to my application. So here I will need to display that log, step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, and the index 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the different R. So that R will be always randomly allocated. So here, if I will click permute many times, so here we can see those are randomly defined. So it means that here I supposed to process and display the necessary data inside of my log, like log data. Log set text. Right. Okay, see, I cannot call log because log is defined after using the function button permute. So that's why I will delete it from here and replace it in front of my buttons. Okay, so now we will click dot, set text. So now log is available. So the log get text plus. So the first what I need to see is the step. Step number plus. So the step may be a problem. So why? Because our index is started from 6 until the end. So but what I can do, I can just add like step here, starting from 1, and will display my step here, step plus. Okay, so the next will be this, like this. So see, that should be like step cross. After that, our step, that step, and after that will be the 2 dots, index, index equal. Okay, and here I supposed to place my index. So that will be the 6, 5, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, next will be comma R equal plus R. And the next what I will need to do is to go to the next line. So, but before we discuss that moment that we cannot simply go to the next line in using the lock, like using the JLabel component. So, but where is the way to process it? So we will need to use the XML procedure. So the log, like set text here. So we will need to add XML here log. So and the way to break the line, this is the BR. So every time when I will add the BR, that will go to the next line. So if I want to go next line here, I will just add so the BR here. Okay, and now let's try our application. So original permute. Okay, so now we can see, oh, oops, see what is happening, our step doesn't change. 565432, that's fine, 202, okay. So if I will click, so that's randomly changed. This is again fine. So, but the step doesn't change. So why? Because I set it up as 1 and inside I did not change. So here if I will like increment my step, so that will solve the problem. So original sequence permute, okay, and now our steps, it is defined same as it's supposed to be. Okay, done. So technically we already have our permuted sequence. So we just cannot see it. We did not display it yet in our application. And what else I want to do is in the design, let's change our windows a little bit. Okay, nice. So generate, permute. Perfect. So I just need to display that particular information here inside of our array. As I said, we already have our permuted sequence. That sequence is our array S. So after implementing that particular loop, so we already have our permuted array. So now we just need to display that particular array in our screen. So for that, we do have a specific label, so what we call permuted sequence. And right here, I'm supposed to display my permuted sequence again. And I will use exactly the same way what we did with the original sequence. So permuted sequence dot set text. Okay, and here again, I will need to call like create string from array. So here S and sequence length. So that will show me the permuted array right here. So in our screen. So now we can see that permuted array. So and like if I will click many times, so here we can see the array is changing. So but I also want to display that procedure step by step. So I want to add this S every time when I process my step. So what can I do here? So every time, so when we create like process the steps, so here I supposed to add my array S as well. So the log set text log get text plus. Okay, so we already moved to a new line. So next what I need to display is S equal bracket. So now I need to display the 0632. So this is our elements from array S. So and here again I can use my create string from array. Create string from array, display S and sequence length. Sequence length. So that S and sequence length, so for sure will be the same as here, but at that particular time my array S is not the final yet. So because we are going to modify and swap our numbers one by one, so here that will be the different array S every time when we're calling. So we will display that number 0632451, and I will need to close my bracket. And the more important, so here I will need to move to the new line, and I need to move to a new line twice. Add BR 2 times. Okay, and run. Original, okay, 5. Yeah, okay, this is our sequence. Okay, so this is end of the discussion today. So this is the application what you're supposed to create. So today we discussed quite interesting topic related to general, like the use of the random sequence, and that will be, yeah, our target for today, and definitely we will modify and use that particular code in some other application. So the use of those particular random sequence application is very wide. So, and later we can discuss it. So I made a little mistake. So here it should not be random. So random sequence application. So now finish. Good luck.